Hello, my name is Torrance Davis and I'm the editor-in-chief of shutthefuckupandplay.com. I'm here to give you my personal opinion / review of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 current generation consoles. Let us begin. Each console will be given a point or an X based on my preference of which I think is the best. Let's start with the hardware. Both the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 have definitely made a jump in hardware from last generation into the next. The design of each console is important, especially to gamers. We love to sit these things on our entertainment center and just gawk at them. The PlayStation 4 is beautiful. Unlike most past generations with Sony, where they've taken a system that was big and they made it smaller over the years, the PlayStation 4 came out very small, very compact, and very sleek. It has an angled design on the front and back, but if you look at it from the front, it looks like a rectangle. It's amazing to me how they got this new technology into this small box. The Xbox One is also a beautiful looking piece of technology. Its rectangular shape takes on the look of a set-top box like a DVD player or even a satellite receiver. It's bigger in size than the PlayStation 4, and while it looks great, it just doesn't hold a candle to Sony's design. So I gave this one to PlayStation. When it comes to build, it's a slightly different story. Sony, like with all their previous PlayStations, put the power supply inside the PlayStation 4. Being that this is one of their most powerful consoles ever built, it's going to generate more heat. With the power supply inside the PlayStation 4, no vertical venting, and obviously a smaller solution for cooling the CPU, it created a heating problem. Not a problem that would affect my gameplay or anything, but there were times where it spun up really loud like a jet plane. Something like the Xbox 360 used to do. Everybody knows that Microsoft had some serious issues with the Xbox 360 hardware last generation. They weren't going to make the same mistake twice. The Xbox One is bigger in size, has vertical ventilation, an external power brick, and a much bigger CPU cooler. The Xbox One stays very cool and quiet. I never hear it spin up at all. This point was given to the Xbox One. Both consoles give us a lot of cool features to play with. The PlayStation 4 comes with Twitch and Ustream streaming right out of the box. It's a really cool feature that gives console users the ability to stream their games like PC users have for so many years right now. It's fun and it's addicting. The Xbox One has a Twitch streaming application so you can watch the streams, but they don't have a fully functional application yet, so there's no streaming. Both the PlayStation 1 and the Xbox allow you to record video, then edit that video and upload it later. The PlayStation 4 only allows uploads to Facebook. The Xbox One allows uploads to your SkyDrive, which can then be shared on YouTube or any other video sharing service that's available. The Xbox One also has a better video editor than the PlayStation 4. While the PlayStation 4 only allows you to trim your videos, you can do full edits with the Xbox One and compile up to 5 different clips together. Sometimes I found the clips that I created in PlayStation 4 just weren't there. Awesome sessions would just disappear into the nether and I'd have no way of getting them back. With the Xbox One, anytime you do something cool or even if you have an awesome session, you can tell the Xbox One to record it and it'll record the last 30 seconds. You could also run the Xbox One DVR and that records up to 5 minutes of video, while the PlayStation 4 will record 15 minutes of video if you can get it to work right. Both the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 have excellent video recording services, and I'm sure in the future the streaming on the Xbox Live will be completed and then the PlayStation 4 will hash out their video editing. I gave this point to Xbox One. The interfaces for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 are similar to what we saw in their last generation counterparts. The PlayStation 4 now has more columns. It also has an activity feed. The problem with the PlayStation 4 interface is everything is just thrown at you in whatever order you play it in. You can't really customize the interface at all, and you can't change the colors. The Xbox One looks a lot like the 360, except more like a Windows 8 interface. Once you get over the learning curve of the Xbox One dashboard, you can do some pretty cool things. You can pick a color for your profile and then all your application icons will show up in that color. You can also pin certain applications to the dashboard, so that way you have easy access to them. You can pin your games, you can pin your applications, and anything else you need right on the front page and customize it the way you want to. Again, there is a learning curve, which made it a little bit difficult for me to figure everything out. The UI on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One both need work. But for now, I'm going to give this one to Xbox One. One would say that the technology in the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One is the same. They both use AMD's Jaguar APU. The difference is the PlayStation uses 8 GB of GDDR5 RAM, and the Xbox One uses 8 GB of DDR3. There are also some other differences in each console, like the ESRAM in the Xbox One, and there's other customizations made to each chipset and each motherboard that I can't even go into detail on. But with the PlayStation 4 being more powerful than the Xbox One, in multi-plat games you may see higher resolutions on the PlayStation 4, and you might also see higher frame rates. But still, both consoles can handle their own when it comes to exclusives. Everything depends on the developers and the engine. This one goes to PlayStation 4. Let's talk about graphics for a minute. When it comes to choosing best graphics, it's about what console is showing off their hardware the best. There were only a few games that really blew me away when it came to graphics this generation, or at least at the start of this generation. One was Killzone Shadowfall. I was amazed to see what Guerrilla Games was able to do for a launch title and a first-person shooter on the PlayStation 4. The lighting and scenery was breathtaking. Almost reminded me of Crysis back in the days on the PC. On the Xbox side, we had Dead Rising 3 with hundreds upon hundreds of zombies on the screen, which totally blew me away. But even more so, Rise from Crytek. I'd seen a lot of video clips from Rise and saw some of the gameplay at E3, but when I had it on my screen for the first time, it blew me away. I'd never seen anything like it on console before. Going back and forth between both the games, it was Rise that impressed me most. Not to take anything away from Killzone Shadowfall, but Rise to me is the most impressive next generation title so far, at least graphically. So graphics go to Xbox One. Games are probably the #1 reason why we buy these consoles. So let's talk about the game. When it comes to exclusive games, it's clear that the Xbox One has more first-party AAA exclusives than the PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 4 has a lot of games that were ported over from the PC, PlayStation 3, and Vita. Most of those games which I already owned. Killzone Shadowfall and Knack were the biggest first-party exclusives from Sony. Xbox had Forza 5, Dead Rising 3, Rise, Killer Instinct, Peggle 2, Crimson Dragon, and a bunch of other titles that were available at launch. Xbox One gets the point for exclusives. When it came to multi-platform games, it was pretty much even-steven between the two. Some multi-plats have exclusive content on the Xbox One, while others have exclusive content on the PlayStation 4. Some multi-plats have exclusive Kinect features on the Xbox One, and some multi-platform games on the PlayStation 4 will have a higher resolution or better frame rate. They were pretty much even, so I gave the multi-platform a tie for both Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Future games is all about what's coming out in the future. PlayStation 4 has The Order, Infamous Second Son, Drive Club, Deep Down, and PlanetSide 2. Xbox One has Titanfall, that new game by Black Tusk Studios, Quantum Break, Halo 5, a new Fable game, and Sunset Overdrive. And of course, this list doesn't count the games that we don't know are coming. But when I compared the two lists, the games on the Xbox One appealed to me more than the games on the PlayStation 4. So Xbox One gets my vote in future games. Both consoles have a limited but cool set of accessories available for launch. First off is the camera. The Xbox One has the new Kinect 2 camera. It could see you in the dark, it could recognize your voice, it could recognize gestures. It's pretty awesome, and there's a lot of other stuff it does too. Sony took some design cues from Microsoft with their new PlayStation 4 camera, as it has 2 lenses and stereo mic configuration. The Sony camera is sold separately for $60, and the Kinect camera is included with the Xbox One. The Kinect camera obviously does more, so my vote goes to Xbox One for the camera. Both consoles come with a mono headset and microphone. The PlayStation 4 headset is like an earbud, and it has a microphone along the cable. It looks like they used about $5 in parts to put the thing together, but the sound quality is superb. The Xbox One headset is similar to the original Xbox 360 headset. It goes over your head and has a little extension arm for the microphone and an over-the-ear headphone. Of the two, I find that the Xbox One is more comfortable, as I don't like earbuds in the first place because they fall out of my ears. I'm going to give this point to Xbox One. When it came to the controller, I had a lot of trouble picking a winner. Both the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 have improved their controller designs over last generation. The PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controller added semi-concave analog sticks, which is much better than the DualShock 3. However, they use the same material on the analog sticks, which gets slippery when your fingers start sweating. They added real triggers, a share button, and also a touchpad on the controller. With the Xbox One, they made the controller smaller. It's pretty much the same design as the 360, but this one also includes a better D-pad, some weird start and option buttons, better grips on the analog controls, and a smaller battery compartment. My pick for the best controller is a tie. I was looking to see some improvements in the PSN over last generation. Boy, was I surprised. Downloads, updates, and installs are really fast this time around. Xbox One's pretty much the same, nothing's changed there. With both networks being robust and fast, I gave them a tie. The PlayStation 4 launched on November 15th and the Xbox One on November 22nd. In the past month that I've been using both consoles, the PlayStation 4 has had 2 outages for maintenance. 2. And Xbox Live hasn't had any outages whatsoever. So uptime goes to Xbox Live. The friend system in the PlayStation 4 hasn't really changed that much. It still requires you to click several things just to add a friend. You have to find the friend, click the button to add the friend to your friends list, and then you have to send them a message. It's pretty daunting. Xbox Live hasn't really changed. The friend request system's the same. It's simple, fast, and robust. However, if you don't want to add somebody as a friend, you can also follow them. That way you can see their activity, watch all their posts and their achievements without even really becoming friends with them. So the friends goes to Xbox Live. Blu-ray playback is something new to the Xbox console and something that's been in the PlayStation console since last gen. Both systems have beautiful video and audio, so I gave them a tie. That was easy. You can't mess up Blu-ray playback. But when it came to controls, the PlayStation 4 was unintuitive. I'm so used to hitting the play button from last gen and not having it this time, it was difficult for me to control the movie. Whereas the Xbox allows you to control it with your hands, your voice, or the Xbox controller, and it's the same as controlling a movie on Netflix or any other DVD playback, even from last gen. I gave the control point to Xbox One. Final thing we'll be discussing is the cost. For the price that you're paying for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. But there is a difference between the two. The Xbox One comes in at $499. The PlayStation 4 comes in at $399 and is $100 less. So I gave this point to PlayStation 4. The network fees for Xbox One are $59 a year. Sometimes you can find good deals, like the holiday deal for $39. But on average, it's $59 a year, especially if you rebill through Microsoft. With this fee, you get access to a lot of cool stuff, including multiplayer gaming, but then there's a paywall for things like Netflix, Hulu, and everything else. PlayStation Plus is only $49 a year. That's $10 less than Xbox Live. It includes all kinds of things, including multiplayer gaming and free games. And also, there's no paywall for apps like Netflix on PlayStation Plus. I had to include the camera into the pricing because every Xbox One comes with a Kinect camera. In order to get a camera for the PlayStation 4, you have to pay an additional $60. I feel that buying an Xbox One, you get everything you need, including the camera. So I did give this point to the Xbox One because there's no additional cost for the camera. I'd like to reiterate that everything said in this video is my opinion only and no one else's. I'm not telling you what you should think is better. I'm not telling you what you should buy. I own both consoles. So choose for yourself and shut the fuck up and play.